All right, welcome everybody. I'm here to take a look at some strategies to give you guys a little bit of help. So, welcome back to P2P TV. So, I've got a solo league kind of pulled up. I just chose a team at random, and I haven't even looked at the roster yet. So, anytime I take over a team, that's the first thing I'm going to do is take a peek at their roster. So, a couple things I notice. First off, I want to know what kind of QB I've got to run with. So, I know he's slow. He has decent hands for a QB. His agility's bad, decent strength, but he's got a good arm, good accuracy. His QB skills decent enough. His intangibles are very good. So it's about looking like, just based on him, I could run pretty much anything I want from the QB position. So I don't have to think about that at all in terms of assessing what I'm going to play in the season. So we'll close that up. Look at the running backs. So I notice I've got a couple, looks like even 3 decent running backs. So I've got Glass. He's got 79 strength, 89 speed, 87 agility. So it really looks like in terms of running back, I'm going to be fine playing anything I want. I have 2 fullbacks. One of them is better at run blocking. The other is better at pass blocking. So I probably don't want this guy Broderick on the field at all on passing downs if he's going to be blocking. So that's just a couple assessments I've made. Look over my line. I've got really good run blocking in the guard position. The pass blocking is going to be a little bit rough. So while this guy has okay pass blocking, 74, his strength's only a 68. So this 87 with a 79 pass blocking, that's telling me that's going to be my left tackle right there. This pass blocking 79, strength 87. But I'm going to run into some issues otherwise. I might have a weakness now on the right side, running this guy, Gallo, in the passing game, but I really don't have any other guards I can run. Tackle, same deal. I really don't have any tackles that do very well in the passing game. So that's telling me I'm going to need to get my quarterback time. He's going to struggle with sacks. So I'm looking at my line play and saying, I probably am not going to have enough time in the backfield to run long passing. So we're probably going to run something a little shorter with this team just based on they've got really, really, really strong run blocking. So I can build that team up for run blocking. I've got these backs that are just insane with the strength, agility, and speed. And then center, I mean, I don't really have much pass blocking there. I do have a strong guy. So when I'm looking at my line, strength is the most important. Falling back after that is going to be the pass blocking and run blocking. But you're going to struggle if you have no pass blocking up around 80. You're definitely going to struggle. Probably with sacks, getting longer passes off, that kind of thing. So I know that's not going to work for me. I look at my tight ends. I notice I've got a fast guy, but he has no hands. And then I've got an okay guy that's got good, decent hands. So he's got decent speed and hands. So that's a tight end that I would like having in my passing game. That 74, 75 speed. I would like the strength a tick up a little bit. But a lot of times you can find your tight ends about in the 80 range of speed. But I'm not going to try and use them in the passing game unless they've got over 80 hands. So I know I've got a tight end I can use in the passing game, this Ibarra guy. Looking at my wide receivers, I do have a plethora of wide receivers, not a lot of agility all the way across the board. So I do have this Williamson guy down here, good agility, good speed, but his hands are bad. And I'm going to be dealing with bad hands across a lot of my receiving core. So that's also going to tell me long passing with any wide receiver besides maybe Douglas Johnson up here is probably not going to go so well. He's 6'1". He doesn't have any agility, but he's got the speed and hands. So you're not going to want him to make a lot of cuts. So that's something to keep in mind on that. Then we'll go look at the defense. So defense, I've got cornerbacks. They're all slow. Every single. Or wait, no, they're not all slow. So I've got some 93. Don't have a ton of agility again. So if I'm thinking about running zone, I do want to have some decent speed, but agility is the main thing if you're running zone. So if I've got all these corners that don't have much agility, I'm going to want them to stick on their man, not have to make a ton of cuts, reads to get to the spot where that's going to have to cause them to change direction, which is how I think about agility is like, okay, they've got to stop, make a cut, and move a different direction. So with all this low agility, I'm probably going to play more man-to-man coverage in my defense. I do have one speedy linebacker, decent tackling, but they're all pretty slow. So my linebackers aren't going to be able to move across space. I'm not going to expect linebackers to do a lot in coverage, which might make me think, okay, well, since I'm not going to get a lot of coverage out of my linebackers anyway, maybe we can run some more blitzing schemes and try to get some of these linebackers that can even just take up a body in the backfield. And get after the quarterback or free up a D end, something that can just add some pressure, because I don't feel like they're going to do a great job covering outside of zone coverage, except for maybe our one guy, Denham. He's the only one that I feel decent about playing man-to-man coverage from the linebacker position. Other than that, they are all slow zone type linebackers, decent tackling, but Denham's going to be the best guy in the unit. Other than that, I'm going to be pretty iffy. My line play, I've got strong guys up front, and that's kind of the thing. Like I'll just erase all of the overall here. I don't really care about the 74 overall. I care about strength to get push right on that front line. So I've got two defensive tackles that they're not going to chase people down, but that's not really their purpose. The purpose is to blow up the line. You want to have good strength to do that. Big, heavy guys with a lot of strength, they're going to help a lot in those kind of scenarios. And that's usually what I look for in my DT. I just basically strength is my main thing. Like, I could care less about his speed. It's nice to have speed from the defensive tackle position, but even if he's able to get through the line, I don't think even with a 70 speed defensive tackle, he's going to be catching many backs. So his whole purpose is to just blow up the line and free up spots for other players. Defensive end, I do have some decent speed on the edges. One guy with decent strength, it appears, but that guy's slow. So these guys are probably going to be my main dudes. Obviously, my best one is probably this stronger guy with the 83 strength, and then he's a 73 speed, 73 tackle. So I'll probably line him up on the opposing team's left tackle. So he's going to play a lot of right end. So that's how it translates. So your right end is going to be lining up on your left tackle. Left end is going to be lining up on the right tackle. Free safety, I run into some issues I guess this guy's got decent enough speed. He can play some coverage, but again, no agility. So I do have this Courtney Long. With that 76 speed and that 86 agility, I might be all right playing some zone with him. But I'm thinking we're going to stick more to man based on what I saw from my corners. Safety, I've got a decently fast enough guy, it looks like, down here in Robert Young. But again, suspect agility again. So, I'm pretty much going to run man-to-man. We're going to design even though I like my quarterback, one real good wide receiver that I feel comfortable doing all kinds of routes with. Other than that, it looks like I'm going to be kind of stuck, maybe in some shorter passing. But I could get away with Michael Thompson. His speed and hands is decent enough. He could play in long passing. And then I've got this guy, Johnston, that could play in long passing. But we're going to design more of a running kind of power offense. But before I do that, I'm just going to go ahead and sim just one game real quick, just to see how all the AI stuff works out. So let's go check out the strategy. Strategy. Well, this game is slow. So strategy, we've got it all just set as AI right now. This is just what the AI wants to run. So we'll go ahead and just head back, and we will sim a game real quick. And then I will make some adjustments and design a quick playbook and see if we can get some improvement. So we'll go ahead and sim week 2. We'll go back and take a look at San Francisco. They won the game. Their defense did not play the best, gave up tons and tons and tons and tons and tons on the ground. 220 yards, guys averaging 14 yards a carry and 9 yards a carry. So my run blocking, or my run coverage, is very, very bad. Even if we did play all right in the passing game, I'm okay limiting guys to about 4.5 yards per pass. I like that efficiency, 21 out of 39. I mean, he wasn't hitting on his passes, but you just can't give up that kind of yardage on the ground and expect to do anything. And I'm also noticing my ground game didn't do much of anything either. So I would look at this play analysis real quick. So my running plays were not successful. I was not successful running the ball at all on first down. Was marginally successful running it on second down. Not successful at all running on third down. So if I'm putting together my 1st and 10 playbook, I can either approach it one of two ways. I can make a 1st and 10 playbook that limits the number of run plays, or maybe I can go find out which run plays were not working out. So I see that this counter left out of the eye didn't net me anything. Off tackle left and off tackle right netted me 5 and 22. I'm seeing that off tackle left out of pro set, counter left didn't work. Dive left not really working. Off tackle not really working. Counter right not working. Draw not working. The pitch left seems like I might be able to get some marginal success out of it. Out of the shotgun 4 wide receivers. We're getting some decent passing out of the spread. Off tackle left and right not working out of 2 tight ends. So when I'm looking at it, I'm saying, okay, my best situation right now for running the ball appears to be out of the I formation. I can run some off tackles. I'm definitely going to include those. Um, doesn't look like I had much else that worked in this game, but I'm going off one game. I typically wouldn't do this as, I'm going to design a whole new book based on this one game against a team that very well might be good against the run. But I do see a lot that tells me running's not working at all. I can get some pitches. So I like the pitches out of 4 wide receivers. I like the I formation as well. Now let's go take a look at my staff. So let's see what they like to run, because that'll determine, a little bit of how I design my playbook as well. So let's go look at not my general manager. We're going to look at the head coach. So head coach. So it looks like he's adaptable. A thing you want to look at in your flexibility. So if you're running stuff out of what your coach likes to run, if they don't have high flexibility, I would stay far, far away from running vertical for a power coach kind of thing. You're not going to run, you can't get a smash mouth coach unless he has high flexibility or has an offensive coordinator that runs some of that stuff. You're not going to grab a smash mouth coach and throw a bunch of vertical sets in there. It's just not going to work out. So I don't see specifically what he typically likes to run. Okay, so he runs a vertical hybrid offense out of power formations. So I'm going to stay away, based on what I'm seeing, I'm going to stay away from some 4 wide, spread, shotgun. This coach likes power formations, and he likes to throw vertical. So this is set up to kind of run some long passing. He likes the 3-4 hybrid defense. I like hybrid defenses as well, but I usually look for more 3-3-5 than 3-4. So our offensive coordinator likes 3-3-5. So I'm going to stick to some vertical hybrid. Our offensive coordinator likes to run a power hybrid. So it sounds like between the two of them, we remember Joaquin Wilson, he liked to run vertical out of power formations. Then we've got a power hybrid. So it does look like, based on what I'm seeing, I can run some I formation, some pro set, some 2 tight end, and be pretty successful both in the running game and the passing game. So I'm going to design my playbook to run typically out of those four formations. So that being said, let's get back. Let's go back to our dashboard here. Just have a quick look at our team. So we know we're about to step into playing Detroit next. Because I know this file, I know Detroit's a good team. But I do want to step back and kind of look at my play analysis. What went wrong in the running game? I mean, it just looks like they destroyed my 3-4. We're running, let's see, they didn't run very well. Shotgun out of nickel and quarter defense. On tackle didn't work out of their shotgun 4 wide, but you can see how it's measuring, how it's lining up based on how many people show up. So you can find some success on defense, especially the one trick I'm going to tell you for defensive football that's, it's just a giveaway. There are situations you can run it, but if you're new to designing defenses and new to the game in general, you're probably going to find more success going down here and unchecking match CBs to wide receivers. So this is going to enable you to play. It's not going to force the 4-3 setups to line up when they're in I formation, because you're going to find a lot of teams will do some crazy passing out of two tight ends and all that stuff that maybe you want to be running nickel against them. But if you're matching CBs to wide receivers, then the AI, when it's running the game, will never line up nickel formation against, against I formation, that kind of thing. It's going to bring you out in 4-3 or 5-2 or 3-4. I personally like I've had a harder time finding a lot of success, just generally, with the 3-4-4-3. But I do try to find one or two plays every year that seem to be working. So on defense, when I design my book, I'm going to kind of just stick to similar concepts to what I use in the main game. I'm definitely better at offense than defense. So that being said, I feel like I'm in a decent spot. I've assessed my team. So now I'm going to go design my playbook. So we'll call this one mining. Now I know, oops. So we'll add some plays to the playbook. I already said, I know we're going to run out of some I formation because I saw some success in that one game. So let's get the I formation out. I typically like to add my running plays in before my passing plays. So since I saw the most success out of these two, I'm just going to run at a default weight of 5 for off tackle left. We'll throw in some off tackle right. We'll keep them about equal. Seems like both of them were pretty successful. That's telling me my average gain now once I add the play. So I know I'm getting, average about 4 yards. With my off tackle left, I'm averaging about 10 yards with my off tackle right. And that's in two games. Miners are 2-0 right now, looking pretty good, but we'll want to add some more stuff. So I know that, like I said, I don't have receivers that can make a lot of cuts very well. So I know their agility's bad, so I'm going to stay away from these like slants. But I do want to add some play action as well to match with this off tackle right. So do I have anything that maybe gets some of my receivers moving around without lots of cuts? That's so the slants, that's pretty short passing. Skew right, that's going to be for a dive play. And maybe we'll try some dive out of the eye, because I do have these power backs that do make me intrigued. But I'm going to choose just one play for my play action. We'll go with this one. I'm probably not going to use it a lot. So I'm going to tone down because I don't have the receivers built to run these cut routes. I do have a faster tight end that could win on that go route, on that streak, but he doesn't have hands. So that guy's not going to catch the ball. My other tight end I talked about might be able to. So this is a decent enough play to run, so I might tone it down to 1 just to start on my initial book. 1 or 2. Then I'll go through, let's see. So we know that those pitches out of this worked pretty well, but I know I'm probably not going to run out of 4 wide very much. So we'll add these pitches We're just going to attach a value to 1. And it does look like we've run, we've run out of the shotgun 4-wide pitch left. We've run out of it 14 times. Average of about 5.5. That's pretty good. But I'm not going to run much shotgun 4-wide because we know both my coordinator and my head coach like power formations. So we'll get back up to, maybe we'll add some pro set. I do have that power. So maybe some counters. Maybe some counters. I felt like I had a good run blocking fullback, so maybe some counters out of the pro set would work pretty well. So we'll just add that. Counter left, counter right. I also know that my left tackle is going to be much better than my right tackle. So let's go with some off tackle left. Maybe we'll pump that up a little bit. Off tackle right. I'll probably tone down just to give him another look. I added those counters. Let's see. So there's some play action. This doesn't have a lot of cuts. They're kind of just doing these skinny posts, which is just run, tilt in a little bit. So you could probably maybe get away with a little bit of this pro set skinny post. Since I do want some play action to kind of match a little bit with my running plays. Do I want to pitch left? I look at the design of the play. I feel like my fullback's not going to get over to the left. But I do want to run left more based on what I saw with my team. So we'll get out of the pro set. We'll go add some 2 tight end stuff. We'll go ahead and add, off tackle left again. We'll pump that up. I feel like we'll want to run some of that. We'll throw in some off tackle right. But I don't want to run a ton to the right, just based on my team. I also, since I do like my running team, I'm going to predicate the strength of my line to be on the left. So let's throw a dive left in there. We're just going to see how it all ends up working. The dive left, I can see we haven't even added it to the playbook, so that's going to be just a new play on the offense. We're just going to, look how it works. So I've got that. I've got my running plays out of 2 tight ends. Let's add some 2 tight end jumbo. Here I might, maybe we'll try some counters. Counter left. I'll probably leave the counter right. Let's try a dive left. Let's try some off tackle left. All right. So we've got 14 run plays in the book right now. 2 tight end jumbo. I'm running 2. Okay, so I've got a few run plays out of a few different formations. So now I'm going to go back to the I formation. I'm going to look at some of these passing plays. We know my receivers don't have a lot of agility, but they're fast and have good hands, decently tall. So I like these skinny posts. I'm going to try and run some skinny post. We've got this kind of deep out, but I like the route for, my receiver on the right-hand side. He's kind of just got that opposite of, he's got that corner route a little bit, but my QB can make that throw. So that's the main guy that I think, the ball is going to end up going to somewhere over here most of the time. But I like my chances getting to one of these. You know, the tight end, I've got a decent enough tight end that can kind of decoy. Maybe that safety, maybe pull some linebackers. Maybe the linebackers are blitzing, but I'm hoping to get this guy on a one-on-one. You know, he's probably going to be the third option over here, but I like that play, so let's throw it on there. I don't know how much I like it, but we'll throw it up to 3 or so, see how it does. So I'm looking for plays that don't have my receivers doing lots of cuts. No, skinny post. Skinny post I like. All right, doesn't look like tons of cuts. But I'm already kind of running the skinny post, so let's look for something that maybe I can run. You know, maybe some outs and ins. Let's see how that looks. This is all in toward the middle, so you're going to focus everything onto safeties. So if I was facing a team with strong safeties, strong safety play, and great linebackers, I mean, those middle routes probably not going to do great. But if they're playing some man-to-man, probably can get those middle routes. But if they're in a zone, I'm not going to attack a zone by concentrating all the players around one area. But you know, this could split the zone. It's really just hard to say, team by team basis. But I don't know if I'll add that. Let's see. Anything else that catches my eye here? Yeah, maybe we'll try some of these short outs. See how that does. We'll switch over to my pro set. I've got my teams in there already. Crosses. I see some stuff that's gonna. We already added my play action. We know these. We like these skinny posts. Let's see. I might like this tight end out as well. He's kind of on a skinny post. So maybe he could grab something off that tight end out. Maybe we'll try this short post. Give my QB a little bit longer route. So we've got the pro set. I'm just going to stay out of shotgun. We're going to stay out of spread. We'll add some 2 tight end jumble. Corner routes? No. Don't love it. Inside slant. Lots of these slant type jobs here. Let's go with this short post. We know I like the skinny posts. Let's see. Maybe I can throw in some. What the heck? Let's try this play action screen. You know, with the speed and hands my guys have, I feel like getting them into space might be all right. But I am worried about that agility. You know, they don't have the agility to really run and dodge defenders when they have the ball. But you know, I might throw it in there just to see how it's working, you know, in my next game. Let's throw a couple other passing plays in here just to see And maybe we try out this post. Nah, I don't like what the receivers are doing there. Let's try this. We'll try this tight end streak. Throw the tight end jumbo. I know I'll probably like some plays out of here. But that's going to go to tight ends. This play action bomb. Dump off maybe. It's got some ins. I mean, this is going to be, you've got your wide tight end one wide receiver, fullback. Your other tight end is going to be blocking. I tend to not like my left tight end blocking. So we'll avoid that one. Look at some square ins maybe. Deep out. Yeah, I mean, deep out's kind of got that. Got some things that might work for me. Late read, not so much. Those guys are going to have to... Yeah, let's try this dump off for play action. Yeah, we'll try this skinny post on the left with my main wide receiver. Let's try these out. So I've got my two tight ends. So I'm at 31 plays right now. So this might be a solid playbook for me to start getting some data. I'll roll with this one. We'll go with this offense, and we'll go ahead and test it in the next game. So we'll switch this over to custom. We're going to switch this over to the mining offense. And this is going to be kind of my bare bones offense, so I can not overwhelm myself with 80 plays of data to start with, but I like my plays to get up around 70, 80 plays, especially for my 1st and 10 playbook. I really like to have lots of options on 1st and 10. So we've got that set up. Let's go take a look at what they're doing on the game plan. Oh, error occurred, huh? So we'll look at we'll create a new game plan for this. So they're balanced. They like to focus running, fast tempo, balanced, trying to hit the wide receivers. So we'll keep that there. Let's try and switch our running to balanced, because I'm not running a lot of power. Power means those dive plays up the middle. You're going to try and just crush them. So we'll do that. I'm going to, because I'm still trying to figure out what I like, I'm just going to keep everything balanced for now and just see what happens with this new playbook. I'm going to try and not force them to run fast tempo. A lot of times mistakes and stuff can happen like that. So I'll run a faster tempo if I've got really smart players, really smart quarterback. They've all kind of played together. They all have high intangibles. But if I don't have guys that can do that, I'll stick to a normal, or I might slow down the tempo. But we'll just go with normal for now, because we're going to kind of just find out what happens with this playbook that I set up. So backfill by committee. We'll do the running focused as balanced. Just keep it that way for now. I'm not going to focus my defense on the run. We'll keep it the AI playbook, but I'm going to switch this over to balanced. We'll do it all mixed. They focus. It was focused on the run last time, so I'm going to unchuck that match CBs to wide receivers, as I said. We'll keep the overrides off for now. I am going to go with mixed. We'll just switch that to never, because remember, my quarterback doesn't have speed, so I don't want him even, I'd rather him throw the ball away, try to take a sack, than try to scramble if he can. I'd rather him throw the ball away. Just rather him not even put himself in those positions. So I've got everything just kind of set at balance now. And that's initially where I'll start, and then I'll start playing with some nuance. So we've got the playbook set, at least on the offensive side of the ball. For this episode, I'm not going to get into defense so much, but I will on a subsequent little podcast that I do. I will jump into some defense. So I've got the playbook set. We know we want to run the ball, so it looks like the ratios are set pretty well for running the ball. Yeah, we're definitely kind of in running mode here. Back to my game planning. We're running. So let's go find out what happens in the game, shall we? I tend to like to do a save. Testing. And one thing I think I did forget. So when you're testing, this is something to make sure, do not miss this. If you don't go up to the team and set it to non-AI, it's going to erase all your playbooks, and it's going to set everything back to the AI default. Even if I go and set all this and run it as AI, I think it might run one game, but just make sure you go into this screen. So as you see, I use this as my tester for a couple different things. So we'll turn that off. We'll go turn on San Francisco. If I can see where they are. There they are. So we'll turn this to human team. Save it. Now we'll go take a look at the game. And you'll notice I didn't even game plan for the team facing. I didn't even look at them. Now, when I've got stuff figured out and a lot more nuanced, I'm going to be going through and checking out the matchup and looking at the squad, looking at their roster, seeing what they like to do, trying to see if I can find a weakness that maybe I can exploit. So then a lot of times it'll just be adjusting ratios of my plays, like on defense or on offense, just based on what I see on the roster. But I'm just not going to do that. I'm playing the AI, so we'll step out of that for now, and then we'll just go ahead and sim this week and find out what happened in our game here. So with my new playbook, we won 34-13. Let's go take a look at what kind of damage we did. Efficient passing, 13-20. I did 40 runs for 300 yards. So that was just noticing, a few little nuances. Last week we had a real hard time running. This week, we're going over 300 yards rushing. That's insane. Crushed them. Look, our defense even seemed to play better, a little bit better. We allowed 5 yards a carry on the ground, but still, we ended up 293 yards defense, 2-11 on third down. I'm pretty happy with that, and I didn't even adjust the coach's playbook. I literally just went in and adjusted strategy. I like the efficiency of my quarterback. Caught every pass. So, see, I played my playbook to my strengths, saw some opportunities I could play. Now let's look at the play analysis and see what happened with the specific plays in the book. So, noticing this backs out did well for me. Dive left did pretty well out of here. Looks like the off tackle right. We did good against every type of formation, including the nickel defense. So that off tackle right, really, left and right, looks like they're pretty solid plays for my playbook. Off tackle left worked. Remember I said, the defense is probably going to be more predicated on left tackle. Skinny post wasn't really working. Took a sack in it. It did throw a touchdown, but you don't get any yardage. And that's one thing we've learned. Like, so it only got used once and it threw a touchdown. Those touchdown plays don't factor in the average yardage. So that's a glitch. But you can still get a pretty decent idea. These counters worked really well for me out of the pro set, countering left. Counter right was a little less successful. So, like I said, we know that the left side of my line is going to be strong. Ran left, did those counters, did great. Great with the counters left, struggled with the counters right. Just kind of what I'd expect just based on what I saw on the line. Off tackle left seemed to work all right. These double skinnies seemed to be okay. Pitches worked. But yeah, I've got some information now, based on this one game, seeing what we're running. But now, what you'll see that's happened to my defense now, since I unchecked match CBs, like you'd never see any quarter defense out of playing against the I formation. So that means my whatever, they figured, maybe they're going to try and pass out of some I formation. Looks like they were right in a number of situations. The AI was running against draws, running against nickel. So we ran some quarter, nickel, 3-4, but it seems like we did a great job. But see, they snuffed us out when they passed against us in this formation, but especially their short out crushed us in 3-4 and 5-2. I see some other issues maybe with off tackle right, but it's one game of data. So hopefully at the point that I'm looking at this screen, I've nuanced my playbook enough that I'm like, okay, I just need to adjust some ratios next time I face them. Another thing I might do, sometimes I like to go back as the season goes on, like say, I'm going to play Detroit again later in the season. I'm not in this, but say it's a division rival. I'm going to go back and look at this game and see what they like to run and see if I can find plays that were working against it. And when I'm watching, quote-unquote, film of other teams, as I like to call it, it's another thing I'll do. So who had some success against the team I'm about to face? Let's go see what they ran against them that seemed to work. And if I see stuff out of 3-4, quarter, that kind of thing. But we'll get more into defense later. We're kind of just focusing on offense now for this sim. So I'm pretty happy with what I saw my team do. I mean, we increased... so we went... First two games were AI, third game, and I know Detroit because I know this. I know this save file. This is my save file I've used to test for the whole entire time I've been playing. So I know Detroit's good. We did pretty well against them, but let's see what happened here. We passed better in this game. We couldn't run for crap against Carolina. So if I had a rematch against Carolina, I'd be like, I really do wonder how my playbook would do in that Carolina game. So before I wrap everything up, that's what I'm going to do. We'll go export my playbook. And this is how I'll adjust ratios from here on. I definitely will never try to adjust all of these ratios in the playbook from here. It's broken. So I'll never hit these plus and minuses. I just export my book. So I've got that exported. So now if I want to know a little bit about how that running game did, or maybe my running did against that same team, I'll go ahead and load this save back up, and we'll import my book and run it against that Carolina team again and see if anything changed. Oh, and I actually think I saved it after the week one. So we'll just go back to my other save. We'll just import that book. Yeah, because it's still got this. Yeah, and it's 2.0. So we'll load the old thing. We'll go back to this old file here. Load that up. We'll switch it back. We'll switch San Francisco back to human. Configure teams. So we know San Francisco is going to be this. So we'll save that. Switch back to San Francisco. And then we'll jam in the strategy here. So we're just going to literally go import that same book again. We know it's there because I exported it. So we'll go import playbook. Now we'll go find that. Oops, we're going to be in Pro Football Leagues. So that one, I exported it there. There's my mining offense. So that's imported. Now I can go apply it back to here. Mining. So yeah, got that set the game plan back. Go ahead and create that new game plan. Like I said, we're going to stick to some normal pace, passing. We're going to go balanced. We're going to go balanced. Mixed. Never. Keep that the same. We're going to go balanced here. Mixed. Yeah, so now this is the point that, okay, I've got the playbook brought back in. I've got the mining playbook. We're back on that thing. So this is usually where I'd save it. I messed up before, so we'll just change this back to testing. We will save that. And now I know when I reload the save, I could come back to this screen and be like, okay, let's maybe try to see what happens in this same playbook if I pass to running backs or pass to outside. So we'll go ahead and run our sim again. We're going to play that same team that we gave up a nasty amount of running to. It's probably going to happen again. But, oh yes, before we forget. But there is one thing I'm going to do that's going to cause my team to quit lining up and forcing, 3-4, 4-3 when they're in I formation. We can start using some nickel and dime. So I do this. If I see a team, maybe they're not running a lot of formations. Maybe I see them run only 3 or 4 formations, and I notice that they're never running any shotgun. Then maybe I'll stick this, or maybe I'll uncheck that, because if they are running a ton of shotgun, or if they aren't running a ton of shotgun, you're not going to see your team go into nickel and dime very often. You might see it in obvious passing downs, but I think the best way to stop passes is uncheck that. I mean, I haven't seen too many instances where having that checked has led to a good defense. But I'm sure it's possible. It would just take more testing from me. I'm a lot better on the offensive side of the ball than defensive, so I'll be honest, my testing on the defensive side is a little less nuanced than my offensive testing. So we've got that done. So let's see, all things being equal to that last game where we gave up, 250 yards to Carolina running the ball and a massive thing. All things are equal on defense. I've unchecked that. I've got my offense set. So let's just go see what happens. Just let me sim it. It doesn't like this or what? Come on. Let's go. Sometimes the screen likes to get all screwed up. All right, here we go. So we'll go ahead and sim that game again. See if we can glean anything between the two games. So this time we lost, and Carolina still just destroyed us on the ground. Our running game was better. Our passing game was better. But we had massive yardage. Our offense was not an issue. We did nice. Glass didn't run very well, but Martin did. So that might have just earned, in my mind, I might reverse my depth charts and give them a little more to go on. But let's look at play analysis and see what plays worked. So it looks like my off tackle right is working. Off tackle left, not so much. Maybe against the 3-4. We've got off tackle left working here. They didn't really run any of the counter stuff. Passing, we got that fly pass working. The play action strikeout got us a big play. Backs out seemed to be okay. That short post and skinny post seemed to work all right. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the offense. But clearly I have more work to do on defense because we've given up, despite my little change, we've given up the same 2 times in a row. So yeah, we've given up over, right about 250 on the ground twice. So next time we'll play with some defensive stuff, but hopefully I've given you a little bit of a roadmap on how to get to where you need to go in terms of testing and how I go about testing my stuff just to see what happens. So until next time, feel free in the Strat chat to send any questions or comments, or shoot me a private message. I'm happy to answer any questions. That being said, we'll see you next time.